But I also think there's, okay, the more women that you deal with, the less ability you have to have an emotional attachment to her. Now, and there's a certain level of, because you desensitize yourself as well. A lot of guys think that, women go through that, but men don't do that. Our notch count could be 500 and we're unscathed by it. But that's not necessarily the case. I mean, do you really think Dan Bilzerian has a mindset where he can, fall in love with a woman at this point? No, he's desensitized himself to a point where it's just, it's almost like his soul's gone. But yeah, I'm sure he's a cool guy. But in terms of, actually settling down, I think that part's gone. And listen, a lot of guys, that's what they want. And I don't mean to sound all soft, but a lot of guys, they want a wife at home with kids. They want to have a good family life. And I'm not necessarily against that. So I think there's a happy medium. I think you need experience to a certain extent, but then you also need to know how to close a deal if that's what you're looking for and maintain it. And I think the pickup community, I have yet to find a pickup artist. It could be, I don't want to call out too many names and I'm not disrespecting anybody, but it could be like Todd V, Mystery, any of the RSD guys. What's the 33 Secrets? These guys are all, beyond middle age. They're in their 40s and they haven't really had anything long-term yet. So if they're teaching, they're teaching guys how to get girls, I think pickup is like the entry level.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's like getting your first kiss, getting your first lay. That's like learning pickup right there, getting phone numbers. But how can you maintain it when she gets that 7-year itch?
Yeah, no, I agree 100% on that part of it. I think there's sort of a, and again, I've thought about this a lot. I don't think I've quite figured it out because I think it's one of those dilemmas that you have. So the way I was talking to someone about this, and like having more experience for a man makes him harder. It also makes women harder. But for a man, it's a more attractive trait. Like the more hard you are as a man, the more masculine you are. Now, it also does, it does wean away your soul or maybe not your soul, but your ability to form like a bonding attachment, right? So, and that makes you hard. It makes you cold, hard, whatever you want to call it, which is more masculine. And does make you more attractive to women, right? It's like they can smell it on you, right? But it destroys women in the sense that it makes them more masculine and it makes them hard. So it's like a net benefit for a man as far as his attractiveness. It's a net loss for a woman as far as her attractiveness. But then there's what you're talking about, like this kind of gray area. It's like, okay, well, how hard do you want to be? Because you could be like Dan Bilzerian hard and just like and be able to, be even more attractive to women, but you're not going to really be able to form the kind of, you're not going to be able to get into a relationship maybe or fall in love, like you said. I think there's some degree where you can fall in love but be non-attached at the same time, right? So I was talking about, I think I did a video about how alpha men should fall in love, and I was talking about how like you could meet a girl one night at a nightclub and you could fall in love with her, like if you're able to be non-attached, and you could like have this wonderful experience and be totally open, but then you could let her go the next day. I mean, you don't have to, but you could, right? Like I think they're like having that ability is important, but again, like you said, as far as like a long term, if I think if you have that ability, it's gonna be really hard for you to settle down for 7-10 years the rest of your life, because it's once you've tasted the that thing, that I don't know, it's hard to go back. So, well,
there's also your level of thrill continues to go up as well. At first you might graduate from good looking women, then to threesomes, then to all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, what do you think these celebrities go through? You always hear about all these sex parties and like this weird R. Kelly type of stuff going on, and it's like, how'd they go down that path? It was like this womanizing, hypersexualized path that led them to like some weird kinky shit. I mean, if that's a route you want to go, then by all means. But I think there's a dark side to that as well.
Yeah. It's a never-ending treadmill, right? It's the hedonistic treadmill. It's like, I know a lot of guys that have been instructors in love systems and whatchamacallit, RSD and stuff like that. And they've been doing this for a long time. And it's like, at some point, it's like, they've never, it doesn't matter however high their count becomes or whatever kind of, like, there's always a next level to it. It's never ending. And you're not going to really find fulfillment, like continue to chase it. Like gaining a certain level of skill, I think is important. But at some point, it's like, you have to realize that this is not going to make you, it's not going to bring you happiness or fulfillment in life. So